Welcome to ProServe 2012 training videos. In this video, I'm going to discuss, what it would mean to close, my period out each month, close my GL, and what does it have to do with my business status, and should I follow that rule of thumb, or how should I do it? First of all, the system basically is designed so that it keeps up with your year and periods and things like that of what your business is doing. If I went to GL and looked at business status, it'll track, your period to date. And when you close out at the end of each month, it will move this number permanently into the year to date and zero this out. So that if you go in at any time and produce a report for your current period, you're going to also get the year to date totals for those particular accounts. Okay. If a report, something like this, looks like it would be important to you, and you would like to say, hey, that's pretty neat. I mean, this prints out on one sheet of paper here. Okay. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. I mean, it's just one sheet of paper that's got grand totals for that current period and year to date. And normally what you would do is for sure print this out at the end of each month prior to closing it out. So that you've got to, or save it to a PDF. Other reports in the system, for example, if I look at period sales, and I have departments, service codes, routes. If I look at my current year, what it's designed to do is to pull out, each period. Now I know you're looking at it and say, well, there's nothing there. Well, again, this is a demo, but you can see how when you close out each month, the program will calculate what you did in the month of January and put that in as a permanent field or permanent value. So at the end of the year or during the year, you can produce this simple report and see what you did for each department broken down by each month. Same thing with service codes, as you can see here. Same thing with routes and technicians. So these are nice reports, but it depends on you closing out your periods each month so that because that's actually the program that will total that period and put it in this report, if you will. And of course you could look at last year, so it'll keep the current year and it'll keep last year. Okay. I doubt I've got anything in last year. Well, actually I did. This is just a demo, but you can see you can follow what this would do for you if you close out each month. You close your business status at the end of the month. Okay. Then what it does is just closes that information out. It pushes that billing, even though it's accumulated into that at this point, but it will zero these out and start the new period. And it just keeps doing that from month to month. Once I've closed out the business status, then I would close the GL, which is really what calculates any finance charges and things like that. and it rolls me into the next period. It closes out the current period and rolls me into the next period. Now, what happens in the program is there's several things that you need to do before you close. First of all, you need to post all your work. Post everything that you need to get posted into that period that it was worked in. Post all your payments in that you need to get into that period. Now, if you're lagging behind a little bit, it's okay to get into a couple of days into the next month while you're still trying to finish up postings into the last month, as long as you're just controlling that date. Now, I want to show you something in the system that's very important. There's an option on the user default screen, and it's right here, and it's called verify post dates, during posting and payments process. And normally this is set to true. And this is why it's set to true. If I were posting a work order, for example, and rather than posting it into October, which is my current period, for whatever reason, I backtracked it and tried to post it into the 29th of September, the program will test that and it will warn me and tell me, well, I can't do that. You're trying to post something into a previous period that's already been accounted for. So that's what that does. Now, if I come in here to that option and turn it off, okay, and go and post a ticket and do the same thing that I just did, maybe I accidentally hit the down arrow key. Look how it just flipped it into September. I didn't mean to, but I accidentally hit my down arrow key on the keyboard. And so then I move on through. Well, the system's not going to verify that you did that. So it's just going to rock on. And you're going to end up posting this ticket and possibly a payment. See, if I go ahead and apply this and go ahead and move through it, it's going to take that September 29th right into my payment. Watch it. Look what it did. It brought it right into the payment. So with that, you see what that just did. And it was it could have been an accident. And all because I don't want the system to verify my date. So this is very important. And if you're going to close your periods and keep up with your system on a month-to-month basis and close out, each month, it's very important that this is turned on. Because you just seen what it would do. And that's going to mess this business status up, because you're going to have stuff showing up in here that you think happened in October, when in fact it got posted into September. So we done passed September. So it's gonna accumulate in this money right here. Okay? If you then close the program and you went to this report that we looked at earlier, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure where it would go. I think it would come into September. Not September, but October. And notice too, see how I don't have any money yet in October? That's because I haven't closed out. I haven't closed out October yet, because that close program is what produces this information on this report. Now, when I did close, would that money that I posted into September show up in September? No, it won't. I can tell you it's going to be put in October. And the reason why is because the close program's not looking at dates. This close program right here is not looking at dates. It's not looking at what you did between October 1st and October 31st. It's only looking at what has not been closed. So whatever's in there is going into that month. So you see how that can kind of happen. So it's important to make sure that you understand that so that you can set this appropriately. Now, I do have customers that they turn this off because they really don't even close regularly. They don't close the way they should, and they don't want to. They just want to do it the way they want to do it, and that's why that switch is there in the first place, so that you can choose for yourself how you want to do it. But I'm more or less just showing you that if you're going to use this to the letter, then you definitely need to make sure that feature controls or at least checks to see what your post date is, to make sure you're posting into the correct period there. Well, that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. And again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give me a thumbs up on it. Thank you.